This is where I need to use my Mr. Grinch voice.
No, I love her.
Not the black and white one, right?
Nope, her.
The cream colored one.
Isn't she pretty?
Open the
She
door. Let's
knows.
see if she knows.
Look at me. Watch.
I'm watching.
Look, see?
Look. I told you.
Oh no.
Here.
I feel sad for the black and white one though.
Look, she's crying.
What are the black and white? Oh, he has mange all over its ears. The black and white one has mange.
I know, but come on, baby. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Look,
She was just trying to lift her in, baby.
look, he's like, I'll go.
I just feel bad for that one,
I
Jamie.
know we would have to take both.
We can't take both, love.
I love. I told you. She's laying her head on my lap.
Our little buddy's like, how come no one's loving on me? I'm
He's
cuter.
a little shy.
That one is cuter, Jamie. Don't y'all think so
Are
too?
they honking at us?
It's a cute little dog. Blocking somebody. All right, so I've come back and I found this little girl. The only thing is I'm scared to pick her up. I think she may bite at me. She may only like ladies. Oh, did she hear what I was saying? All right, so that's where she's sleeping right there. Baby, I'm gonna have to pick you up. Please don't bite me. So I tried, but this dog is really scared of men, like very scared of men, which is sad because it means that it's probably been kicked out of the way. Who knows how it's been treated, but why can't Jamie find a sweet little lovable dog, like a little tiny one? Something with no teeth. I've been looking everywhere for that darn dog. I'm calling it Christmas. I am. I'm calling it Christmas because it's going to be Jamie's Christmas gift. To have a Sunday gifting goodies. Christmas, stop looking at the camera there. She wants all of the attention, y'all. She wants all of the attention. She wants you all to know she's Daddy's favorite girl. Okay. How do they know? What is she looking at? Herself? She sees herself in my phone. Oh, no. Things just went from bad to worse. Oh, no. Okay. Y'all join us on a Sunday. Ouch. Sunday gifting goodies. Christmas, look what you've done. Hi to hello. Folks, Lester and Jamie here. Hey, babe.
Hey, y'all.
Yeah, I was like, where's your hey, y'all?
I'm sorry. I had something in my eye.
It's all about Christmas today because she's gone off and scratched my eye. So if you could try to just avoid staring. You don't want to stare. It's like you always tell your children, don't look, don't stare, don't stare. So we're not going to be staring, okay? We're just going to go on with the live like nothing ever happened. My plan tonight was to start off the video. My plan tonight was I have the chapter 4 of our shirt compilation, chapter 4. There's one final chapter to go. I did play chapter 4 on Lunch with Longhorn Lester, and I will post it as soon as we're done here on the I'm a Survivor channels.
How come you didn't post in the beginning?
I wanted to talk about Christmas and why I'm wearing this. Jamie, could you pull it together? This is hard enough as it is. Anywho's, so Christmas video played now. It was just kind of crazy to know how far she's come. Think about that. When we first started the video, it went back to Christmas, December of 2022, which has been almost 2 years. And Christmas was terrified of me. She's always liked you from the get-go, but she was terrified of me.
You know what's crazy is I saw her before that whole event. You remember when I came home and I told you about this dog that came up to me at the gas station and I was on my way to
didn't believe you.
work and you didn't believe me. You're like, that didn't happen, Jamie. That's not how it happened. And I was like, no, it really happened. And then it happened like a whole month later again. There she was. And like, and now she
I know.
literally was coming to me.
Well, I tried to surprise you, babe. Listen, we got to have, I can see you in the camera over here. I see you. So when you make a video like we're doing now, a live, I'm actually looking at us. You know that I can see you. And so then when I look, you try to turn away like I can't see. I can see you right here. It's in selfie mode. The video, we're using my laptop and it's in a selfie mode. And I can see you making faces at me.
I'm making faces
Whatever
at you.
you're doing, I see gestures. I just can't. Can we switch sides? If we could switch sides, I could actually see you and talk at the same time without having to
Why
turn.
do you need to see?
Because you're making fun of me.
I'm not making fun of you.
Anywho's, it's been a fun journey with our sweet Christmas. And in less than 2 years, it's come full circle to where now she just loves me. And Jamie, I don't mean it in a mean way, but this happens sometimes. I was with mom and dad yesterday, and it was funny talking about some of their dogs that dad got for mom to give mom a companion, and that dog ends up loving my dad. And that happens sometimes. You pick out a pet for your partner and it ends up loving the other partner. And I don't know how or why, but Christmas adores me. And you saw that video yourself. She just hugs and she wants to just embrace you and hold on for dear life. She goes with us on the side-by-side. She just has, what a wonderful, wonderful rescue she's been. And she's come a long ways, hasn't she? We have a busy night. And if you're going to continually, you want to do it by yourself? Well, what do you want me to do? Let me put my glasses on. Would that help? Better?
I should have just stayed in the bathtub. That's what I should have done.
Is this better?
No. Can we? Okay.
If you
Are you
switch,
going to get to the part where why you have that over your eye? Like, is that where you're going?
I showed it
with
in the
this story?
video. It showed it in the video. Christmas scratched me. Did you not watch the intro video? There was a video. If you're just joining, there was a video at the beginning where Christmas scratched me this morning. And I've been wearing the patch all darn day. And it wasn't
The whole day.
It wasn't that
Not
big of a
just
deal.
here. We went in public, multiple places in public, actually.
I've been wearing the patch because it hurts to look out of my eye. The sun, the light hurts. And so when I was in the bath earlier, I didn't have the patch on, did I? Because it's fine in the dark.
No, so I thought we were done with the patch.
When I turned this light on and right here looking at me, it began to hurt again and it began to water. And I could either be sitting here watering out of one eye, which would be even worse because it's red and watery, or I can wear the patch. So I don't think, here's the thing. No one here is making a big deal about it. Not that I can tell, not that I can read it anyway, but I don't think anyone here is making a big deal. So why aren't you making a big deal?
Well,
What? Just say it, Jamie. Just say it.
number one.
You know what?
Number one, you look at me to talk to me instead of just looking at the camera. And then number two.
I always acknowledge you when you're talking. Let's just trade sides. If we trade sides, it'll all be better.
And number two, you left the taggy McDoodle thingy on there, so you give a little flappy doodle.
That's how you get it off, I think.
And number three, you don't even know that you did this, but when you were scooping ice earlier, Lester was making himself a Coke with ice. And I don't know what. I'm standing next to him, and he turns to look, and his hand became handicapped. Like his hand went like he couldn't work his hand anymore because he couldn't see out of.
Anywho, we hope you all are having a wonderful Sunday. Before we start with our live, we always want to make sure that we talk about a little bit of housekeeping, and not so much us, but about, we just don't think that we not understanding of what's going on and very empathetic to what's going on in the country. So can you at least talk about that? I know
Absolutely.
you're a lot more worldly than I am as far as keeping up with the news.
I will be really real with you and say the same thing I said yesterday is, as we care, we are making our own moves and doing things behind the scenes. We don't feel like we need to showcase everything that we donate or that we do, or because we are making direct to victim contributions. And then also that we know what's going on. And
Can
we're
I
not
say something real
making-
fast about that?
yeah.
So this always gets me about how it's like the Bible people. I'm not talking mess about anybody, but I do believe, and I'm not a Bible scholar, but there's a somewhere in the Bible, and you guys can help me with this. The right hand does not tell the left hand what it's doing, because God knows what the hands are doing. Please tell me if you know what I'm talking about. And what that means is, when you translate that into our world, you don't go bragging and being boastful about all that you do. Only people who are looking for recognition do all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of unnerving for the emails and messages that Jamie's referring to keep saying, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Y'all should be doing more. Y'all should be doing more, because y'all too have been through Hurricane Harvey flooding. And I'm like, sheesh, what do you want us to do? Make videos of what we're doing?
Right. So we're not. And then we also have made a conscious decision to acknowledge the things that people are going through, but also to provide an escape of the daily things here. And we also know that there's an additional hurricane headed towards Florida, and those people are in, I believe, great danger. And that's what the state is telling them as well. And we just need to be really conscious that while we may not live there, that even if we aren't involved in that there are a lot of people in this country going through some major things in this world.
And then listen, I'm probably going to misspeak on this, but have you noticed that Florida, because it maybe is more prone to hurricane and as much damage as what Floridians have are going through, there's not been much attention on Florida. Yeah. I think most of the attention has been on the I don't want to say the Carolinas, but it's the Appalachia. Is it called Appalachia? Am I saying that right? And I get it, because those folks maybe have endured a lot more than they're familiar with, whereas Floridians are familiar with hurricanes and the tidal surge and flooding and winds. But there's been a lot of damage in Florida too. And the sweet people that we met this week are from Florida. They live in Florida, and they went back, and now they're having to brace for another hurricane coming their way. And so Floridians, we feel you guys, and I don't know what we can say. There's nothing we can say that's going to bring comfort to anybody, but we'll try to provide a little escape, a temporary escape, take your mind off of things.
There's a lot going on with all of it. And one day I'll probably talk about my feelings about some of the things, but nonetheless, I know that there are a lot of really good things coming out of this in a really twisted way. I have seen so much humanity come out of regular American people through this that proved that it doesn't matter if you have a PhD or how much money's in your pocket, that there were genuine people helping people in ways that, I'll just say, the things that you would expect to be there to support people like this aren't. And for me, that has been the most profound thing to come out of this. And it has made me want to step up even more in circumstances.
Have you seen the videos with the pack donkeys and the pack goats?
Yes.
Those are what I think are obviously the flood devastation is hard to watch, but what I enjoy watching, and I don't hate to say I enjoy watching this, but what has gotten my attention is the fact of some of the efforts that the Cajun Navy and other groups are doing to get in to help those people, and the links they're going through, even using the pack animals to get in and find people and take supplies up on roads that are impassable to vehicles.
Well, there aren't roads anymore at all.
You know,
They're
there's
going up
maybe no
mountains.
roads at all, and you're going back to the old days of using those pack horses, pack mules, pack donkeys, and pack goats. I had no idea that people could pack goats.
I'll be honest with you. When I saw the goats, I really took a hard, long look at ours outside and went,
Oh,
"What
no.
are we doing?" Because
You
that
ain't
would
leaving
never,
Ringo
that
anywhere.
would never happen anywhere. But it just shows you that there are good people in this world who will put everything aside to be able to go help other people, and that to me is like the most profound thing that I've seen in a really long time. And I know a lot of people are talking about the Demons. I watched a bit of their live as well. They took down all of their merch off of their page and are doing a fundraiser, and then intend to bring stuff to the victims as well.
Oh, that's
so
great.
that's amazing. And I I know that our hearts aren't the only ones that feel that way, and that not everybody can donate dollars, but you can send love and light and prayers and thoughts, and just being conscious to those around you. I think we've been in a really angry state as a world, and everyone is very triggered and opinionated, and we forget that we're all people trying to do the same thing and survive this thing called life. And I hate to see a tragedy that has to come out to bring people together, but I will tell you that I have seen more unity in the last week than I've seen in years.
And then I'll go a step further and say something that you probably will never say, but I'll say it. I don't care. The unity is not along party lines. The unity is, like you said, a humane. It's the humans who love humans, and they're not thinking about political parties. They're not thinking about red or blue or any of those other kinds of things. It's just humans helping humans. And I feel like, and I say this from someone who has not been there. I don't see what's happening on the ground, but I'm like you. I just watch video after video after video. And what I see in all of these videos are people helping people, not government officials helping people. I see people helping people. And it was people who got there long before anyone else did. And it's those people, and I say this from experience, once the Red Cross comes and goes, once FEMA comes and goes, it'll be people, neighbors who love each other, who will keep people going, who will continue to help people along the way. And I say that from personal experience, from what we went through with Harvey. And that right there is the most powerful thing to me, is seeing these people helping people because they're not waiting for the approval of the government. And
you know, I saw things today that are so true. There are people that live there that have equipment, or people that have hauled equipment in, rebuilding bridges and making roads and clearing paths. And we make a lot of jokes in life about hillbillies and rednecks and, you know, all of these uneducated people. But I will tell you that those are the resourceful people who are bringing things back to people and saving people's lives and recovering animals and everything else in that space. And I don't know, it just makes me really proud to be a part of humanity.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
I do want to have one more weird thing that I need to add to that, because of the circumstances of what's going on in our world, because of everything that's out there. We have made a decision to not do a Halloween special this year.
And so we'll talk about that a little bit. But so Jamie mentioned a few minutes ago that there's a lot of, I don't want to say hate in the world, but there's a lot of, I don't even want to say anger.
Sensitivity.
Okay, that's a great word. There's a lot of sensitivity, and there's things that are triggering people that I don't think normally would. In a world that had not gone mad, people wouldn't be so easily triggered. And so there was a joke that I told in a video that started, it was about a week ago, and it was I had to remove the video because it was on Facebook and people were being so mean to me. I'll tell you the joke, but within the first 5 minutes, I got nothing but hate hate, hate. And I hate to say that word because that's like a triggering word itself. But then Jamie made a reel. I think it was a little reel of
It was a
futon mattress on the side of the road. And that did nothing but sent people even more crazy.
And I didn't even think about it. Like, I didn't think about it like that. I just thought like, oh my gosh, like it just caught my eye and I was like, holy cow. And I actually sent it to him to stop and look at it to be sure. But I also posted it and it was probably in poor taste. Considering the timing of things.
You know, we make videos and we don't think. Let me tell them my joke real fast. Can I tell them my joke without getting in trouble? I'm just going to tell y'all my joke. And because I don't mean anything mean by this, I thought it was a funny joke. And a lady sent it to me before I had my colonoscopy for something to think about. All right. Can I tell it? Okay, here we go. So there were 3 best buddies, man, and they did everything together. There was Tommy. There was Leo. Are you making faces again?
No.
And there was Michael.
Like,
so these guys went everywhere together, y'all. The movies they did it all. You guys know how 3 amigos, they did it all. But unfortunately, one day there was a horrible accident and Tommy was involved in an automobile crash and burn. It was so bad that the coroner had to call in people who could try to identify his body. So none of the family were able to identify anything. So they called his 2 best friends. They went in together. And when the coroner says, okay, I'm going to bring you guys in one at a time to do this the official way, he goes, come on, Leo, you come first. And so Leo walks in, the coroner, pulls back the drawer and he lifts up the blanket. And Leo looks and he goes, I don't know. Can you turn him over? And so the coroner's like, turn him over. And so Leo's like, yeah, I need to see his other side. And so the coroner's like, okay. So he takes the body, he kind of turns it over, and Leo goes, I don't think it's him. I don't think it's Tommy. And the coroner's like, okay. And so they dismiss Leo. They close the drawer back up. They go out and they get the other fella. And they say, come on back, Mike. So Mike walks in. He goes, Mike, I'm going to ask you to identify this body if you can. So they pull the drawer out. They move the blanket out of the way. And Mike's like, I just can't tell. Can you turn him over? And the coroner's like, he's like freaking out. The coroner's never been asked to turn somebody over. And so they take him and they turn the body over. And Mike looks, he goes, I don't think it's him. And the coroner's like, okay. And he closes the door and he walks out to the room. He goes, okay, guys, come on, gather around. Come over here. He goes, I'm just curious. I need to know something. He goes, why would you have asked me to turn the body over? And they're like, well, that's easy. Every time anybody saw Tommy Boy hanging out, whatever, they always screamed out, hey, there goes Tommy Boy with them 2 assholes. That's not funny. So I made a Longhorn Lester video and I included that in part of my video. And it was within 5 minutes. It was just going crazy with mean. And I'm like, Jamie, what's going on over here? So I took it down. Because I saw you cannot remove comments from a Facebook video. So I'm like, okay, sheesh. So
the point is, though, is that it is a poor time to do that. And our Halloween videos in the past were
Gary
Easter eggs that were led up to events. So if somebody caught our video for the first time, it could be totally in poor taste and not understood. So we will just pause on this year's Halloween.
Yeah.
series.
So just know that and I'm going to say that hurts me more than it hurts any of you all because I love putting on productions, y'all. I love getting together and start to master plan and get all kinds of people involved. And I love that. And then trying to find all the different angles to make these presentations. And, we do that for Halloween and we do it for Christmas. And we sometimes done a few things for other events, other holidays mostly. But man, Halloween was a fun one. But you're right. If the world is being very easily triggered, we're going to go ahead and announce right now that we're not doing a Halloween skit this year. And it's not trying to punish anybody, say, well, I'll show you. No, it's not about that at all. We are a channel that wants to hopefully spread happiness and
Yeah.
joy and love and laughter and escape. And if in fact something that we say or do in a skit form or a joke that I tell or a reel that Jamie makes is in fact triggering people, then we'll just have to be more careful for now with our triggers, because not everybody is going through what those folks are going through. And I don't know who are the ones who are being so easily triggered, but that's not what we want to do. We don't want to fight and argue, you know? And so even if it's happening in the comments over here, just please don't involve yourself in that stuff. Just let it go and it'll be fine. We're still going to have our prom.
Prom
and
is still on.
We're very excited about the Whammy Awards. And
the actual People's Choice like award got here today. I got a
you want to show it to them?
No.
Why?
Because I don't want anybody to see it yet. It's beautiful. You want me to see it? You want me to show it?
You don't have to, but so everyone needs to know that it's the Whammy Awards night. So it'll be similar to the Oscars or the Grammys. You already know, but it's our version, our ragtag shit show version of the Grammys or the Whammies, right?
Or the Emmys or the Oscars, whatever you want to call it, an award ceremony for video content.
So, but the biggest award of the night, I don't know what you call that with the Oscars or whatever, but the biggest award of the night is going to be the People's Choice Award. And so what we're asking is for all of the video creators to send us a snippet, not an entire 30-minute video.
No.
But a snippet of a video, and it could be a profound moment they captured, a funny moment they captured, anything that they think would represent their channel and what they bring. And then we're going to put those into a compilation and have you guys vote. And we'll do the same way that we always vote for a calf name or whatever else we vote with. We'll put the poll on there and you guys can just vote away.
So prom is October 19th. I anticipate that we will have voting begin next Monday. So that way everybody has this week to get their submissions in.
We have time to compile everything.
So next week we'll begin voting on the People's Choice Award is the one that y'all get to vote on. And I'm really excited about that because the award is just beautiful. And I know they're called the Whammies, but to me, this is a really serious one because it is what y'all select. And I can't wait. I can't wait to be able to see who wins, see what y'all choose, but also to put together the compilation. I have a few of people's submissions already, so I'm excited about that. But I really think it's going to be classy. I mean, it's going to be Morrow classy, not like the Emmys classy, but it'll be fun. So
yes, YouTube and Facebook will vote. I'll put the video onto. We'll probably have that same video on a lot of channels.
I think we'll have to put it on all the channels to be able to, and then collectively take all of the compilation of votes, and then
we'll figure that part out. But do not think it's exclusive to Facebook or YouTube. It'll be on both of the platforms.
Yeah, so we'll have to work on that. But I am excited to put that together. The other things have started to come in, like some of my decorations. I did something really fancy. I'm like really, really excited about it. That'll be here tomorrow. Got a little bit nervous because it said it was delivered Friday, but they lied. And it's going to come tomorrow. And then I am down to a selection of 3 dresses.
Oh.
Part of your outfit came today. Pretty excited about that. Xander and Kendra are coming. Their flight got booked. And now it's really about like clean up and prepare. I have to order the food this week and just really like pull it all together over the next 2 weeks. And I hope that others are getting just as excited. We went dress shopping last week to Goodwill, Brianne, Stephanie, and I, and someone on that trip found a dress. So that's going to be awesome. I did hear that Elora and Brinley got their dresses.
Oh, yeah. The young ladies are all excited. Dresses and accessories. That's a funny story my mom told. I don't want to ruin her if she's going to tell that story at some
Yeah.
point.
Yeah,
So don't tell it.
I don't think so.
But my mom, yeah, Elora and Brinley, that's Stephanie and Jake's daughters, have both kind of planned their outfits with accessories. And I think that my mom forgot how expensive little girls can be. So I promise you it's a lot cheaper buying for little boys than for little girls. And anyone that has daughters or granddaughters probably know that is true.
So we got to also thinking today about how many kids that there are now. Like last year, there were some babies here still, and of course, there's still some babies here too, but we have like 7 or 8 10 kids, right?
I
Alora, Connor, Lex, Brinley, Bay, Carter, Cash, Coda, Carly, well, and then baby Jakey. Did I miss anybody?
but I don't know.
Anyway, that's a lot of kids to keep entertained during an event. So I talked someone into letting me rent a
moonwalk, a
bounce
jumpaline,
house.
a bounce house.
A bounce house thing. So I started looking at those just now, and we'll make a few phone calls to be able to hopefully.
Oh, he's here. People who are asking about Mr. Hank, he's right there.
He's not.
He's
going
never
anywhere.
he's never
Never
far
far.
away. He's always wherever we're at, he's right there with us.
So
will,
I'm excited about that.
yes.
Sorry.
So here's what you all can do now.
People are saying Caden. Caden's a man at this point in time.
Yeah, Caden's in high
like
school.
6 foot tall.
Caden is no longer
He's not
a
in the
kid.
kid club.
Here's what you all can do though. If you have a favorite video or a snippet of a video that was a moment that you think was profound or powerful or funny or whatever, contact those creators and give them ideas. Because when we've asked in our text, a lot of people are unsure about what
I was unsure.
they don't really. Well, I mean,
I asked these people
so
for help.
Oh, you already asked for help.
I did on Tuesday. I was like, "Hey, so I
So-
need you to send me what you think." Is,
Oh, so you should also contact them or put it in the
Oh.
comments. What's wrong?
I just found yours and that we forgot all about.
What?
Look right here. See it? Right there.
Steph in the Steph in the bee suit.
We forgot about that.
And here's another question. This is even more drama. I says, Jamie, I says, so does that moment belong to the person in the video? Or does that moment belong to the person who captured the video? Because here's the thing. I was videoing, but I captured that moment with Stephanie. So should I win the award? Let's just say that I do put that as my submission. And that wins. That has the most votes. Who really wins? Me, because I got the video, or Stephanie, who was the person in the video? That's kind of, here's some more samples. Here's some more samples. You all know the video where my mom was recording my dad sitting in a new chair, and that chair collapsed with my dad in it. And my mom peed herself laughing so hard. You all remember the video. My dad could not get out of the chair. The chair did a real slow clap.
It was the funniest video.
It was
ever.
a hilarious video. But here's the thing. So who wins the award? My dad, who was in the chair falling apart, or my mom, who had the composure to hold that video while my dad did a slow collapse.
Or
Even at the-
whose channel did it play on? Because that is the other dynamic. Because I keep saying, like, okay, Brienne on her horse was hilarious. But Jake recorded it with Brienne's phone, and it was Brienne's video.
So yeah, that's the hard thing. Like, who gets credit for what video? And here's another one that you might remember. My dad was recording my mom on, was it an e-bike or an e-scooter? My dad was recording my
when she
mom
fell on Woody.
something.
I think it was a.
My mom was riding around like she was, like she was on the Titanic. She was Rose on Titanic. And here comes my mom's little dog, Woody, runs underneath her. My mom, sorry, I don't mean to laugh. My mom runs over the dog. The dog is fine. But my mom flipped off the bike. And my dad laughed his behind off, captured the whole thing on video. So if that ends up being a submission, who gets the prize if that happens to win? Does it go to my mom, who was the one that fell off the e-trike or the e-bike, or does it go to my dad, who was recording? I think the prize goes to the person recording if there was someone that recorded the video,
But
not the
okay,
person in the video,
but it played on Bree's, like in that case, it played on your dad's channel.
because my mom didn't have a channel at that time. I don't know.
It's way too technical for me. I just think of like, if it was your video, it was your video. Like that's where I'm at, because who physically recorded it? There's a lot of times where I've like, Lester, will you record me doing this?
Yeah, that's
and it
true.
was my video.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, that's true. So it needs to be whose video was it?
Mhm.
So we're not going to go with the person that was recording it. It was the person who the video belongs to.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's still the creator who took the time to edit it, to bring it to life, to display it, to be vulnerable enough to put themselves out there like that.
Yeah,
Like-
because I'll say this, and this has happened many times. We have recorded moments that someone says, hey, don't post that.
Yes.
Do not post that. And so we'll just simply delete the video off our phone. And so it goes away forever. So that's true. So we're not the kind of family who's going to post everything, embarrassing moments. Now, there are some that will record some embarrassing moments and never think twice about it.
No, sir. I always ask you, can I post this if it's in a compromising situation? Always.
Huh?
I always ask you if I can post you in situations. In fact, tonight when I was making my thumbnail, can I show him that? Can I show him that one picture?
I don't care. I just don't care anymore.
I was editing and making a thumbnail, and then
Please. You're going to show them that one? She bought me clothes at Goodwill, and I says, don't do that. I want to try on my own clothes. And she made me try it on. And then as I put the buttons, they begin to pop off. The buttons begin to pop off when I was breathing. As I would breathe, every pop,
he's buttoning the bottom ones and the top.
pop, pop. Every breath I took, a different pearl snap would pop off. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I don't know how you captured that particular moment. I was so embarrassed that you bought me a shirt and the pearl snaps kept popping off with every breath I took. They didn't all pop at the same time. It was like pop. No, it started at the bottom. Pop, pop.
You were
pop, pop,
buttoning,
pop, pop,
you got the top button and top like this, and you're buttoning the bottom, and as you're breathing, it's like,
yeah, I'm glad that you get such humor, Jamie, from moments that are quite embarrassing
you
for
peep
me.
at me when I bent over out there and showed the whole world my behind, so we're even.
Well, we're very excited about the awards coming up and hosting the prom. We are not going to have a DJ this year because,
I am the DJ.
yeah, well, we're going to all be DJ because we have a sound system that will let any phone Bluetooth into it. So anybody who wants to step up behind the DJ booth and play their favorite songs or do a karaoke is welcome to do that. And we'll have all that kind of stuff and everyone can be available. Last year was nice, but having someone who was not part of the family here made it a little bit uncomfortable for some people to really be themselves. And we discussed that after the fact. Everyone had a great time. Don't get me wrong.
Well, and we paid a DJ, and basically the whole Marls just wanted to sing karaoke the whole
So
time.
the DJ was pretty much just kind of sitting here.
Like, he couldn't get his microphone back.
Yeah. And we took over his mic. So he just kind of was here for doing nothing. I mean, he brought some cool stuff with him and he had some great music, but we also can find our favorite music off our phones. And so we're going to not do the whole DJ thing, but we will have a DJ and a karaoke booth.
Yeah.
So we're excited about it. We're doing a lot of work this week to get things cleaned up and organized. Jamie worked her tail off yesterday, getting all the yard stuff, the landscaping cleaned up, trimming the hedge and all that fun stuff. So
I think it's going to be really fun. And I hope that it's different enough from last year, but also similar to last year, because I think everybody had a really good time last year.
yeah, you want to mix up a few things, have a
Mhm.
few extra things to do. But no, we're going to make sure to we're going to offer everyone a really fun time. If we're excited about it.
Yeah.
So we hope that you guys will be equally excited. But no, for real, if you have a memory that you remember from, and it doesn't have to be this year. We at first talked about
Yeah.
just from this year, but I don't think that's really fair. There are special moments that have been captured, and there's never been an awards like this before.
No.
So if we do it again next year, then we'll base it off what happens between, the 2025 year maybe. But as of having it for the first time, if you captured a moment that was powerful or hysterical or any that drew any emotions whatsoever, and you want to submit that one, then by all means submit it.
It does not have to be funny. It can be anything, really.
So the hard part's going to be on you will have a hard decision. You all, not us. You will have the hard decision the day that you see the video come out and you have to vote, because I don't know this for a fact, but I think you're only allowed one vote. You can't just vote multiple times.
No, it's only one.
So you will have to narrow your vote down to who you think deserves the big award, which is the People's Choice.
But keep in mind, it's a 30-second clip. So it's got to be like the submission of people's videos is not an 8-minute video or a 30-minute video.
You're not going to watch an entire 8-minute video.
It's got to be able to be profound enough in that 30 seconds to encapsulate, have the meaning, all the things, which makes it more challenging because most of us are long form creators.
Hey, Miss Rita, wonderful question. I'm sorry you jumping in late, but I did get scratched in the eye today. At the very beginning of the live, I played a snippet of our wonderful, sweet little rescue dog, Christmas, who just loves me so much. Where is she? And she scratched me across the eye. So
he's going to be okay.
I'm going to be fine. I'll be fine. And it feels better now than it felt earlier. But when we turned on the light here to start our recording, it's light sensitive. So I didn't want to be sitting here with my eye watering the entire night. What else you got, Jamie? What else you got? I've been rambling like a...
So ridiculous. So ridiculous.
You have nothing else? Are we done?
I'm just waiting for you.
No,
That's
you and I had talked earlier about some different talking points. I know we wanted to talk about the Halloween skit that we're going to just hold off on. We talked and gave props to all those folks for helping each other in those states that are struggling. We've also talked about Floridians and how they're going to have to deal with a second hurricane in less than a month. And then we talked about our upcoming prom event. And we had a whole lot more to talk about, Jamie. How come my mind just went blank?
I don't know. That was my whole list.
Oh, Lord. Well, listen, just try to find some questions in because
there's a lot of people asking about animals.
So what are they saying?
So
Ernie's doing back and forth, but I will say this, and Jamie can agree or disagree. But today, when I walked out to do the afternoon feed up, I told Jamie, I don't think I've seen Ernie looking thinner. I think that he's losing weight even now. He
looks very thin today.
And I don't know why, because he's eating. I watch him eat, but he looks thin today. Mm-hmm. And he has moments where he's very active. And then he has moments where he just wants to lay. So I don't really know what to expect. And I don't want to give you guys any false hope. But like I said, there's days where I think everything's going to be fine. And then we have moments where I'm thinking, oh, Ernie.
So
Ernie, what's wrong,
I actually
buddy?
messaged Dr. Cochran earlier, and I just told her I would bring in his stool sample tomorrow and see what else. Because the only other thing I would say, I know that there are supplements that I started the last 2 days in his food, but I've been watching his poop because that's what you watch in animals, and it looks the same. So I don't think that that's making any changes of that caliber, but I see him eating like crazy and he's not putting on weight, which is really bizarre.
He does eat, and we make sure that Jamie feeds in the morning. I feed in the afternoons. Yeah. And whereas we don't give all of our animals grain in the morning, they only get an afternoon bite of grain. The alpaca get grain in the morning and the afternoon, and they have hay.
Feeding alfalfa.
Yeah, they can free feed off of their hay, the green hay, alfalfa at any time. And Ernie's just not gaining any weight. So it makes me feel sad for him. But I don't think he's like hurting. He's every time we walk out, he walks over. He drinks from the hose, which is really sweet to watch him do that. He hums with all the other alpacas, how they kind of will sing to you. And so he's not like lethargic and just not doing things.
No, but he's just not putting on any weight. And for the amount of food that you can watch him eat, he should be putting on weight. So taking his stool in for an exam will tell us if there's anything else still in his stomach. And then the only other thing that I would say that may have to come out of this is to put him on a probiotic. That was the other thing I was thinking of. Whenever there's a disruption in tummy, then sometimes you have to put the good flora back in. So that would be the other potential thing for him. So we'll see how he's doing. But as far as
The baby is 2 weeks old and she's doing wonderful.
she is adorable.
Now we know that she was born a bit premature and we were concerned about her little legs because they were kind of like buckled at the front. Her front legs are at the knees. I think they call that wobbly knee or whatever. I don't know. But I don't know. But she's doing much better. She's getting around. She's running. She's playing. She's rolling in the dirt. And she has an attitude. She has as much attitude or sass as what does her mom. So whereas Annie walks around like she's, like, you know,
so does she.
Yeah, Annie will walk around
Upsy Daisy walks around just like that.
Annie's like better than everybody else, and Uppsy's right behind her.
I sat in that pasture for an hour this afternoon, hoping that little like front would break down, and it did not. That little girl is at Annie's hip the whole time. I just hiccuped. I'm not drinking.
She'll sometimes make circles around Annie when Annie stops to drink. Baby will just keep walking, prancing up.
It's so funny you say that. I actually counted circles in my video today because that's what she was
Did you
doing.
really?
Yes, because that's what she does. She's just like, Mom's going to stay still. I have still enough energy. I'm going to keep going and keep going and keep going.
Yeah.
But she is total mama's girl. Total mama's girl.
She's wonderful. We love her. And but she has some sass, friends. She's so darn sassy. But we love her. And then in the goat pasture, all the goats are fine. The big birds, our dino birds, are doing wonderful.
Oh yeah, they're doing so good that Carl put on a show today with
Yeah, Carl was dancing for the mail lady. She stopped. We were leaving out to go eat, and the mail lady had stopped to drop off some packages. And she goes, I hope y'all don't mind, but I've been watching your birds, the ostriches. And I'm like, oh, have they danced for you? She goes, no, I've not seen any of them dance. I'm like, well, hold on. Here's Carl now. And so I turn around. There's Carl. He's like at the fence, just wants to be all up in our beeswax. So the mail lady and I get Carl to dance. And she thought that was the funniest thing she'd ever seen, ever. Not me. She was okay with me.
What was funny is
she wasn't laughing at me dancing.
I
She
didn't
was like,
record it at first. I should have. Lester danced a little bit
You have
longer.
the video?
Lester danced a little bit longer than Carl did.
You have the video?
Yeah.
airdrop to them. We'll play it for you guys. It's really funny. Just airdrop.
Do you want me to airdrop that too?
No,
Oh.
no, just the video, Jamie, just the video. Now I'm working with one eye and one hand here. Y'all have to be patient with me. Okay, here it comes. You guys give me 1 second.
Is your hand working appropriately?
But I still need my other eye. Guys, give me a moment here. Here it comes, I think. Here we go. All right, y'all watch this.
Lester's out here dancing with Carl. To show the mail lady that it's possible.
You know, the thing is...
Welcome to Longhorn Lester's. Yes,
so
where Carl and Lester will put on a show for just about anybody. Welcome.
This bump. The embarrassing thing was, at first, Carl would not dance.
That's what I'm saying. You danced longer than Carl did.
Oh yeah, I danced so long that my arms were hurting, and people were driving by watching the mail lady watch me. Now, plus Carl was in the shadows, so no one could even see Carl. And so I'm sitting there in front of the mail lady doing all my ostrich moves, and she's like staring at me from the mailbox. Hank, would you mind? Sir?
Just over here stretching out.
He stretched his tail all the way across the lighting. Anyway, Carl would not dance at first. And so it looked as though I was dancing for the mail lady, which was very awkward. But
it didn't stop you.
It did. Well, no, I mean, I had a mission. I was a man on a mission, and there's nothing going to slow me down when I have a goal. And my goal is to get Carl to dance. And so finally, at some point, Carl finally broke it down and just gave her the biggest laugh ever. So that was fun. What else, Jamie?
Horsewise. So Voodoo had a really weird stiffness, and I felt like he was pretty fatigued on maybe that was I don't know if that was Thursday night or Friday night. I guess that was Friday night where he was laying down most of the night. But this weekend he's done pretty well. So I think that maybe he just stepped wrong. I don't know. I feel like I'm hyper aware right now, but I also feel like horses wake up every day or like, what can I do wrong today? What can I push the limits on today?
Yeah, I totally see that. And then I get frustrated because we drive, back and forth. We drive all over the place. And I see horses in every other pasture that you pass. There's horses. Some have big pastures, some have small pastures, some have dry lots, but there's horses everywhere. And I'm thinking, I don't just think it, I say it.
He says it.
I'm like, Jamie, I think that you're babying these horses too much because nobody else in all of the places that we pass, no one else have chiropractors come out and have all these farriers come out and have all these horses with bobos and boo-boos.
But
and
I think
they don't have Rita's running around the place.
I think some of them must, like maybe
They
not
must.
the people that were Grandpa and Daisy and Duke are. They don't get anything.
But do y'all ever think that some horses are gonna like take you for all you're worth?
I don't think
And
they
so
do it on
our
purpose.
horses are going to take us for all that we're worth. I'm sure of it. And so I just don't think. Now I know they're rescued horses, and they may come with a few more needs or whatever.
Well, I love
but-
them, and I will do anything for them. I really will. I will do anything for our animals and for you. You have to think about that, and for you. There's times where I've pushed you to go to a doctor or go get something or take the Advil or whatever, because
I will say something factual. And I bet you if we ever kept record, we could prove this. There's no animal more expensive than those horses. None, by far. And if you ever see somebody who says horses aren't expensive, then they're probably the
Horses
kind
are
of guys
expensive.
who are like my neighbor over at the JL, who just lets his horses out and he doesn't see them or doesn't talk to them or doesn't whatever them. But horses take time, so much time, and horses take so much money in all the things that they need, or at least the things that you say they need. So I tell you what, and then if you don't know this, I would think that the ostriches are number 2.
Yeah.
Now, not because of their vet care or they don't do farriers and all that, but they require a special diet. And we have to do they don't sell an ostrich food, not around here. So we have to do our own mix. Jamie had a wonderful idea though. She is so tired of me having 5 bags, and I go out and I pour a little bit out of each bag. And then I take my bucket and I shake it, or I mix it the way a cocktail server may mix drinks. And she goes, why don't you do it a different way?
Well,
And
because
so-
there's days where I'm doing it now, and I'm like, it would be so much easier if I could just scoop this out and put it in the bucket and go feed.
Yeah.
Because I'm half a bag of this and quarter bag of this, and just that.
So Jamie wants to take a piece of plastic, like a tarp, something thick and heavy, not heavy, but thick, and then take our feed and pour our feed on top of the tarp, and then close the tarp up and like
I'll mix it with a shovel or a rake that's on the tarp.
rake it, mix it all on that tarp, and then pick up the tarp and pour it into one of our feed barrels, our feed containers.
Yeah, where it stays dry and it's pre-mixed.
It's
then.
away from the ants, it's away from the flies, it's in a feed container.
And
It's
you could
already
do
pre-mixed.
enough that would be like for a whole month. You could do it all at once. So you only had to make one trip to the feed store to get all that stuff when they had it in stock. Because that's the other part, is that sometimes they don't have pieces of it in stock. So we're like buying a smaller bag of something else until that other stuff comes back into stock. And I'm just like, I just want to simplify our lives of like, I want to walk out to the feed and scoop it and put it in the bucket and bring it out there and not be like, well, they don't have this today. So now I'm going to go pour it, and they're going to be looking at me like I'm an idiot because
Yeah.
there's no mealworms or whatever.
Yeah. So there are 5 different things that we have to mix together. Now, don't get me wrong. Our birds are very healthy. Oh, he stopped. He backed his behind right up to her, and his tail is like, just like taunting her. Like, No, so the big birds would be the second biggest expense, and it's just because they have so many different kinds of feeds they have to have. But they're very healthy. I love the fact that they're healthy and just doing so wonderful. And yes, we have talked. So Jamie gets pictures all the time from the wonderful people who offered our other big birds a home. So those birds are doing wonderful. They're not trying to, is it called breeding?
Yeah.
They're not hatching eggs over there either.
No.
They don't hatch eggs. Trust me, that was the first thing that I asked. Are y'all going to hatch eggs and try to sell them? And they says, no, they don't going to do all that. So,
no, not at all.
what else, Jamie? Because I really am. My eyes are starting to hurt. This eye's hurting because I'm trying to strain to look. I didn't realize that it has not hurt all day.
Have you talked about Amber Rose's leg?
Amber's fine, friends. I
was just gonna say, like, I watched her today, and I watched her run across the pasture today. So,
Amber's fine. So there was one day, I forgot what day it was, that we drove over, and on a live video, we all saw Amber had a little bit of a limp. And so the second day I went over and I looked at it, specifically, and it was less of a limp. And then yesterday and today, she's fine. So if there's a tiny little hobble, but she's fine. So animals, just like us, they step in holes, they trip over this or that. You get stepped on by a friend or a mom. You find someone being naughty. I've already had to remove 2. Guys, don't be mean.
Somebody gave me advice on what to have done for voodoo.
Oh, okay.
It was really good. Actually.
Good. Oh, well, thank you.
Of it.
See, that's the kind of stuff that we need, y'all. We need people that love and do kind things, because that kindness costs you nothing.
I appreciate it very much.
Thank you so much. I was sitting here thinking, oh, we got another hater.
No, it was like Jamie, have your vet run XYZ, and so it was really good.
That's
really
good.
Helpful.
Good.
Yeah.
And I will say that we have come so far because of you and the things that you offer as far as advice and helpful hints and just things that you've learned through your time working with animals, and you pass that on to us. And we couldn't be more blessed than to have you all as the audience who come back day after day with all of our antics, and you keep hanging out with us. We don't know what we've done to deserve you, because I'll tell you right now, I can't think of anything. I can't think of a thing. We don't deserve you, but you're so very kind to us. So I'm just going to say thank you. Thank you so very much. And if I sound like a broken record, then that will be the break in my record of thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You ever have a record player that skips?
Mm-hmm.
You guys know about record players that skip?
Heck yeah.
And it will get stuck on something. Record players, they're coming back.
They are back. That's what I got Xander for his birthday this year. His birthday? Yeah, it was his birthday.
The problem, though, is if you go to the antique stores that we've been to, we've found lots of vinyls, lots. But the problem is people like Xander would not appreciate some of the vinyls that are from other eras.
Xander is a music person like me. He definitely goes way back in his music and loves.
Does he?
Mm-hmm, big time. But there's a lot of music that you and your family listen to that I'm a music person. Never really watched TV growing up because we only had one, and because I have to share, and we had 3 channels. So as a music person, but your family has a lot of music that y'all know and all sing to and know of that I've never heard of. What was that one that y'all were like? Oh, it was Cattle Call. That I never heard of Cattle Call, because I asked all the Maros to call the cow, like do a cattle call, and
they were trying to sing the song.
Everybody was singing the song. Your mom, your dad, even you were singing that song, and I never heard that song before in my life.
Well, I grew up in the era of it was a video game. It was called not Guitar Hero. It was called Rock Band, and there was a singer. You know about this game? It was something you could do on your gaming device. And it was called Rock Band. I think it was called Rock Band. Was it called Rock Band? And you had someone who had to play the guitar, someone did the piano, the keyboard. You had someone had to do the drums.
Yeah.
And someone had to sing.
I think Xander was little whenever that came out.
We all took turns because we all wanted to be the lead singer. And so at some point we all would take our turn.
Whose house did you play this at?
Usually mine. I was the happy house. We called it the happy house. And here's the reason. Because I was divorced and I went through 7 years between partners, okay? 7 years of having the happy house. And this is going to sound horrible because there was no nagging housewife around. That's not, now I meant it. That's not what I meant by that.
You said it.
But listen,
You
Lou,
said it. That's it. That's it.
Ouch!
That's it. I'm
Stop
taking it
it.
off. I'm taking it
Ow!
off. I'm taking it
Jamie,
off.
you're being mean.
You're being mean.
What I'm trying to say is Lou, everyone knows Dan's wife, Uncle Dan, his wife is named Lou. You all know Lou. And Lou wouldn't allow kids in her house. She's kind of mom that they wake the kids up and get outside. You're thirsty, go to the water hose, because she wants her house to stay nice and clean. And so all of the women around there were that way. They send the kids over to my house. And so every morning I'm sitting there having to cook pancakes for breakfast. Oh, what I would do, this is so neat. I had learned to make the batter and I would pour it into the shape. So I made shapes. I would put their initials. And so Lex, for example, is getting an LEX shaped pancake. And so I would always make pancakes for breakfast and they would stick around for longer. And then they would end up having ramen noodle for lunch and they stick around even longer. And at some point, I'm like, hey, y'all got to go home and eat, then come back. Y'all go home and eat, then you come back over here if you want to have a sleepover. So no, we had the happy house. So it was my house where all the video gaming and all the fun stuff happened.
Happy house.
We called it the happy house.
Because there was no wife, a nagging
If
wife.
you don't believe me, you can ask nephew Jake, ask niece Brienne. You can
I
ask
know it was called the happy
ask
house,
Buddy,
but I
you can
didn't
ask-
know
you
it
can
was
ask
because there
Buddy.
was no woman there.
You can ask any of these people, where was the happy house? When you were little, where was the happy house?
I didn't know.
That sounds horrible to say that,
that
Uncle
was
Lester,
why, though.
Uncle Lester was the happy house.
I just thought it was always the happy house. I didn't know it was because it was the bachelor house.
It was the place where kids could come over. And this sounds so Michael Jackson-ish, Jamie. I don't mean to sound Michael Jackson-ish.
No rules is what you're saying.
No, it was just no, there were rules. Here's the one rule. They could not cry. No one was allowed to whine and no one's allowed to cry at the house. Not at the happy house, because it's not happy if you're crying. If you're whining, it's not happy. So you take all that whining and stay outside with it. But it was fun. It gave Ellie a really fun childhood of being
The
able.
adult-free house, somebody just said. Melissa, accurate. That's
Well, hold on a
exactly what I
minute.
believe.
Someone had to cook all that food and wash all them dishes. And that was usually at least 2 meals a day, sometimes 3. But here's what we would do. Oh, this was so fun. So I would do this. When it was time to eat breakfast or lunch, I would make all the kids come to the table and I'd walk by like a waiter. And I'm like, "You order, sir." And I would be like some kind of a waiter from like some expensive restaurant. And so a white Russian was white milk. A black Russian was chocolate milk. We had names for everything, and it was always fun to hear the kids ordering. So I would give them a little menu, and even though it may say something on the menu, it was really always ramen noodle, always ramen noodle for lunch, always. Now we would have chicken flavored or beef flavored, but I would give it a fancy name. And then we would also have all of the kids like to eat pickles. This is a funny story. So Jake's gonna be so mad at me. So I would give the kids pickles, okay, for a snack. And Jake would always get diarrhea. Pickles gave Jake diarrhea. And so Jake would have to run home because he would not use the restroom at the happy house. He had to run home. And his mom would call me so mad. "You got to stop giving Jake pickles." And I'm like, "Lou, he asked for a pickle." And so then if he didn't ask for one, he'd go to the kitchen himself and get a pickle. And so then they were taking shots of pickle juice. Anyway, it was horrible and fun at the same time. And it was the happy house, even though there's a lot of fun memories that come off the hill from the house. And I would not trade those days for anything. But no, someone had to clean all that mess, had to wash all them dishes. And that was also the guy that made sure they were all safe and made sure they were not crying, and they learned their manners. They learned to say yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am, and yes, sir, and no, sir, and all of the things.
Isn't it funny though that okay, so you call it the happy house. It was a bachelor pad, let's be honest here, where nobody was going behind anybody and cleaning up. Nobody made anybody shower. Nobody.
Well, hold on a minute. That's not because they would go outside to the trampoline and they do wrestling matches, and I would have to make sure they stayed safe. They couldn't come in with dirty feet because they have furniture. And then don't forget that neither Buddy, you guys all know Buddy, neither Buddy or Dusty had a dad that was ever around. So there was a lot of fathering. There was a lot of playing multiple roles.
That's what I'm saying.
It wasn't just Uncle Lester.
No, it was a dad's house, basically.
It was a dad's house where there was a lot of parenting that happened and a lot of acceptance of teaching these young men how to be men. So there was a lot of adulting. Don't think it was just like some kind of loud music. And
I
a
don't
bunch of
think that. I
people
think so. Like I think
bouncing
back
off the
to going to
walls.
my dad's house as a kid. So my dad had 2 other weeks to do all of his real life things, so he could be a dad on those weekends, and it was just a dad. He didn't have to worry about homework or doctors or practices or anything else. You got to be the fun parent, and I think that Xander's dad got to be a lot of that, and I'm sure that that's part of what your weekends were like as well. And there's a lot of us moms out there who are very envious of that state of mind
Yeah,
and
because
capability.
I never had to worry about do your homework,
Yes.
eat your vegetables. That was never something that I had to worry about. So you're right. So all of you moms who unfortunately had to be that parent. So I feel you. I get that. I completely understand that. And so, yeah, you're right. I didn't have to be that kind of adult.
That's what I'm saying. Like you
I
got to
get
be
it.
the fun,
Yeah.
like everybody's
True.
safe, nobody's breaking legs or anything like that. And but your mind could be clear enough to play with the kids, and you didn't have to stress about catching up on laundry that weekend and just all the things for everybody else. You got to have fun.
Would you like any Grey Poupon? You know Grey Poupon
I
commercial?
remember the grape.
Would you like any Grey Poupon?
Did anybody ever eat that? And you really?
I never. I
didn't
have
like
just
it.
straight up mustard. I just put
I don't
mustard
like
on my
that.
hot dogs.
I don't like that.
Mustard? Anyway, baby, I'm pretty sure, even with one eye, I'm pretty sure we're past our hour.
We are.
Can you just wrap this up? Just wrap it up.
Y'all, thanks for being a part of our life and our lives and allowing us into your homes and phones and giving us the greatest gift of all, which is your time. We are extremely grateful that you choose us, and I just want you to know how blessed we really are for that. We hope you have a safe week, that you stay well, and keep in touch with those that you love and those that might be impacted by what's ahead. And say a prayer for his pasty, because it's going in the trash.
And we're going to end this video the same way we started it, with a tribute to our rescue dog, Christmas. You guys enjoy. Have a fun week. We love you so very much. And we'll catch you guys on the next video. Here it goes, Jamie. You ready?
I'm ready.
Press play. This is where I need to use my Mr. Grinch voice.
No, I love her.
Not the black and white one, right?
Nope, her.
The cream colored one.
Isn't she pretty?
Open
she
the door.
knows.
Let's see if she knows.
Look at me. Watch.
I'm watching.
Look, see?
Look. I told you.
Oh, no. I feel sad for the black and white one, though.
Look, she's crying.
What are the black and white? Oh, he has mange all over its ears. The black and white one has mange.
I know, but come on, baby. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Look,
She was just trying to lift her in, maybe.
look, he's like, I'll go.
I just feel bad for that one,
I
Jamie.
know we would have to take both.
We can't take both, love.
I love. I told you. She's laying her head on my lap.
Our little buddy's like, how come no one's loving on me? I'm
He's
cuter.
a little shy.
That one is cuter, Jamie. Don't y'all think so,
Are they
too?
honking at us?
It's a cute little dog. Blocking somebody. All right, so I've come back and I found this little girl. The only thing is I'm scared to pick her up. I think she may bite at me. She may only like ladies. Oh, did she hear what I was saying? All right, so that's where she's sleeping right there. Baby, I'm gonna have to pick you up. Please don't bite me. So I tried, but this dog is really scared of men, like very scared of men, which is sad because it means that it's probably been kicked out of the way. Who knows how it's been treated, but why can't Jamie find a sweet little lovable dog, like a little tiny one, something with no teeth? I've been looking everywhere for that darn dog. I'm calling it Christmas. I am. I'm calling it Christmas. because it's going to be Jamie's Christmas gift. To have a Sunday gifting goodies. Christmas, stop looking at the camera there. She wants all of the attention, y'all. She wants all of the attention. She wants you all to know she's Daddy's favorite girl. Okay. How do they know? What is she looking at? Herself? She sees herself in my phone. Oh, no. Things just went from bad to worse. Oh, no. Okay. Y'all join us on a Sunday. Ouch. Sunday gifting goodies. Christmas, look what you've done.